No, I haven't got it here. I feel it there. There it is. Do you want me to sign this?
Please. I don't think I've got everybody. Lisa, don't you want
Conflict of interest?
No, I got it ready.
Okay, well, I'll do that while I wait on Lori.
Get ready.
Okay, thanks.
You're so welcome.
And you all see me give these to Brian, so you don't say, where are those?
Scan something.
There you go. And you all see, okay, with one light on.
Just sort of.
You see okay?
Yeah.
Good.
How are ya?
Good, there you go.
Sunshine and rainbows out there?
Yes.
You don't have any rocks on you. You don't have any rocks. You must have used that on top of your head. Okay. We're all good then.
I saw some of
All right.
quite a few things to.
Dean, did they move you? You've been sitting there for a while? Man, I was always thinking of you sitting at the end over there.
I haven't.
Yeah, 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 they made a move.
Yeah, she would love me.
This is getting all hers done. And I'm sure I'll forget one. I have to come down and see you, so. I'll be there tomorrow. Gotcha. We gave you the badge for this week.
Jessica's chair. I think that's
Yes, yes, they are. No, they're not there for the same ones. I had put the placeholders in there. So, yeah, we'll just construct C and D. And on the back page is all of the other ones listed.
So when we get to the consent, she said that these placeholders are actually taken care of.
Ready to go? Okay. And that's what I'm call to order the Grant County Board of Education monthly board meeting on July 17th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Ms. Linda, may we have a roll call?
Ms. Flurledge? Here. Mr. Nelson? Ms. Smith?
Here.
Ms. McClanahan?
Here.
Ms. Worthington?
I will now have the reading of the mission statement by Jean Nelson.
The mission of the Grant County School Board is to respond to the needs of all students and empower each child to succeed at their highest potential. This will be achieved through our policy decisions and resource management.
When I have the pledge to the flag, everybody please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to number 5, approval of the agenda as presented. Do I have a motion?
Yes.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? We are scratching C and D on the consent agenda part because that is taken care of in X on the back. She put those in as placeholders, but then we wound up putting it at the end with all the rest of the things.
Almost got through the whole alphabet.
We have to go back to double A's.
So we're scratching C and D because that's under X. So barring that, all in favor of approving the agenda as presented, raise your hand, please. Okay. We do not have any public recognition tonight. Number 7, construction update and approval. Are you Mr. Ship tonight?
I do, I am, right? DRE is moving along very good, all bathrooms have been tiled. 75% of the new ceiling grid is installed. New windows in the 200 wings are being replaced. 200 wing floors have self-leveling concrete and are ready for flooring. The 200 wing, they're starting the primer with the paint. And the 100 wing hallways had to be sanded and repainted because of the type of paint that was there before. The water-based paint began to peel, so they had, some poor person had to sand all that off, and they had to start over. But it'll be good now.
Yes,
Then new corridors are being installed between the 200 and 300 and 300 and 400 wings, so the glass blocks, as you know, are gone. And the big storefront window types are going in. Gym has been painted, and gym locker rooms are maybe at 40%. There might be a concern to get them finished by school, but it wouldn't prevent us from opening school. It would just be the locker rooms. And then outside middle and 400 section has been primed and ready for paint. According to Scott, overall, everything looks to be on schedule.
Awesome. Anybody got any questions? Do you want to report on that? Okay. To have a motion to approve pay application number 18 in the amount of $395,921.90 for DRE renovations.
Yes.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you.
My turn, recess.
Okay, I think we can skip that unless somebody opposes or skipping recess. We do not have any comments from the public tonight. We have the claims on the e-meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the claims?
Yes.
Do I have a second? Any discussion of the claims? Any questions on those? No questions? All in favor? Raise your hand, please. Thank you. Superintendent travels the sum of $92 or $3. She not been moving very much this time. To have a motion to approve that.
Your turn.
I'll make the motion.
Yeah.
To have a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Okay. Moving on to number 12, the consent agenda. To have a motion to approve that.
Yes.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Debbie, okay. Any discussion on the consent agenda? It has several items this time.
You try to go through the alphabet.
We almost made it.
Yeah.
So So I did have one more question. The gate partnership with Gateway thing, how are we adding that into?
So they have given a declaration of communications that they will be using
So 3 of them was
with students. So then approving this, we just add those to the district approved traceable communications. We may have more in August. I don't know where you are on this, but I read today from the commissioner, kind of a tip, question and answers, frequently asked questions about SB 181 and instructional resource platforms, that we would actually have to name the instructional resources that we're using that would allow teachers to communicate electronically with students.
Yeah, like your Google Classrooms.
And then, like we have Envision or EL or those different types of things as well. So we may have to take a look at that in August, because it's going to take us a minute to determine all the various platforms. The teachers interact, making comments on homework assignments electronically versus just writing on paper. So I think we probably need to name all of those, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So we may have to do that at the work session in August, so that we can get ahead of when school starts, so that we can hit ground running.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that'd be a lot of administrative work. But if you're looking on, it's like this gateway, you're just adding those 3 to the list.
That's
So
right.
there are 3 already exist. It's just saying they're already traceable communications, like the emails, traceable communication. All that already exists, you just add it to the list. So gateway, you need to do what gateway has done.
And, and so then, because of the gateway, I reached out to the high school counselor.
They're gonna come with Northern and all these other places too.
Yeah, so Northern, the day that we asked Northern was Monday, and they had just met with their legal team. So they're taking some time to make sure that they have a comprehensive list, and they'll send that to us. So I suspect we'll have that by the work session in August as well. So and people are just trying to catch up.
So basically, any higher education thing we do.
Yes.
I mean, arguably, personally, I don't know that that's really required, but that would some caution, it's safe. But, the statute says district employees are volunteers. I mean, I don't concede that, Gateway's teacher is our employer volunteer. And so I never really thought it was 100% necessary, but if they want us to do it, they're giving us the list. I mean, certainly you probably should do it, just so they feel better and everybody feels comfortable. But
Well, at some point, like with some of our dual credits, some of our teachers though were facilitating for those universities. Are they still doing that? Like,
The only one I know of right now is Murray State, that is offering some dual credit courses to our students. Yeah. So what is out of the abundance of
still allows to do it. I mean, it make them feel better and everybody would be covered. I just not conceding it's 100% necessary, but certainly covered.
the other thing I was
Nothing
thinking
wrong
is like Angel Rice used to like facilitate for, I think it was Moore Murray, one of those classes. So I was thinking, okay, we probably would have to add them because she might be using a different platform to communicate, but I didn't think about Gateway and all those. It's not a big deal to add them anyway, so.
Yeah, that list will just grow as we evolve through this process.
Anyone else have any more questions? There's a lot of stuff on there.
I have questions, I don't really, it's not gonna affect my vote, I just want to be able to ask them at the work session. Okay. Clarification for my own education.
Okay. That will be fine. Okay, no more discussion? All in favor of approving the consent agenda as it is, raise your hand, please. Moving on to number 13. Approval of surplus property at 505 South Main Street in Williamstown, the old transportation building. To have a motion to approve that.
Yes.
And so it's a little bit, to do, by doing that, the process, I'm sure Todd's explained it to you generically, but the initial step is you have to declare it surplus, say, hey, you're going to dispose of it. KD will bless that, we've got to send it to KD, they will initially bless it, okay, we approve that it can be surplus in your proposed disposition. They call it a tentative approval. If you are going to sell it by sealed bids, you're accepting sealed bids, then you advertise it, you go through that process. Once you select exactly who you're going to sell to, for what price, and you send back to KD for final approval. So if you are going to surplus that building tonight, we have to send a packet to Katie when they give the tentative approval, so I've got a resolution here that we'll send to them. I can read it briefly, but it says essentially what was in the packet. It says, be it resolved by the Grant County Board of Education, that the old transportation building located 505 South Main Street is hereby deemed surplus property. The building is no longer needed by the school district. Said property shall be disposed of by sealed bids in accordance with all applicable laws and regulations, subject to approval of the sale by the chief, state school officer, and Oklahoma State Department of Education as required. But the chairman and superintendent hereby authorize to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate that sale. So that would be the resolution you're actually approving. After you approve that, and I'll work together over the next week, or we'll probably do it in a week. Actually, I have to spend on a BG1 form. But we will, submit that packet and try to get tentative approval. They're required, once we submit the packet, they're required to give approval or deny approval, but to take action in 30 days. So you may be looking, if people think you may be looking at a month, it'll take another month to advertise for sealed bids. So it may be, 2 months before you've got something firm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're still paying insurance, electric, and all kinds of things, so I'm thinking let's just go ahead and get it done. Do I have a second for it?
I'll second.
All in favor? Okay. Reports, do any board members have anything they want to share? Did anybody make it to the
Sure.
leadership conference?
Yes, myself. And that, and it's not bad, my wife's name. But it was really good, came out with a lot of information on what was passed. And so you start telling it would be too long. So I guess we could put something together.
Yeah, I just want to mention the one on school safety. Auditing phone bills was eye-opening. How much money we are charged for that it's not even in existence anymore, but the schools are still charged for them. And the ACEs that you all know, I'm really interested in the first childhood experiences and with the trauma and the abuse that goes on with the children. And I just think about what teachers have to do, just not teach. They gotta be psychiatrists, they gotta be nurses, and I mean, just go on and on. Yeah, they gotta monitor doors. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. So it was a great conference.
On the telephone system, they had, where you got big manufacturers at, or even schools that changed, different people working in different spots, and the telephones were disconnected, but they weren't being disconnected at the phone company. He showed us an example of one that they had, it was 207, what was it,
2,700 and something. By the time they took everything off, it was $238.
You just pay, because
And that's one school.
that just keeps going. So we probably got a bunch of them too. Old schools.
But you think at churches and businesses, it's multi-millions of dollars.
You could let us know what
We already do that. Shirley goes through it periodically, checks with Becky and technology to make sure we did it. Every once in a while, we'll find a number, we'll call it. There's nobody answers. We'll trace it back to, it's so-and-so's phone. They left a couple months ago. We'll get it turned off. So we're pretty much on top of that.
Yeah, there were some fees on there that they charge that don't even exist anymore. They're free.
Yeah, modern lines and everything, it's included in there. He showed 4 different ones. And it was unreal how much they charged. They were charging tax to them on nothing.
Never thought about that. Good, I'm really enjoying the conference. Do you have anything to share with us, Mr. Superintendent?
So I told you in my email that I attended the Universal Pre-K Town Hall in Northern Kentucky a couple of weeks ago. Just wanted to give you an update. So that is a task force that's put together by the governor to kind of solicit feedback from different regions across the community. The push is to provide universal pre-K for 4-year-olds. That would mean a dramatic shift. A lot of people spoke to the benefits of working families that might provide. Some things that came up is if that goes through, you have to look at a mixed delivery model, because just preschool doesn't really solve the problem of a working parent. So it would have to be a joint effort between preschool and childcare. So that presents its own set of challenges. The other thing that I was there to make sure it got said, I didn't have to say it, is one thing that we have to be aware of is we struggle to find preschool teachers as it is. So the human resource, manpower side of that is a real concern of mine, how we would fill those spots. I agree that you can't argue with research of what preschool does for kindergarten readiness, but you have to have qualified people in front of students to be able to do that. So that's just kind of an update from that visit. We just finished working with our district administrators at the retreat, and it was very productive. I'm happy to report that all teams worked very well, worked very hard. They began to develop their school action plans, their individual school improvement plans. So I feel like that was a very productive day. I want to acknowledge Ms. Kellen and her team for the work that they put into that, planning it. It was top notch and first rate, as it always is. And then finally, I wanted to let you know that I invited the commissioner to come to the district, and he accepted. So he will be in the district on August 20th, and I'm planning to have a lunch for him, and you all are invited to that. And so it will be on August 20th. I'll get more details to you about that, but I want to ask him to speak to the board and to the principals and to the district administrators while he's here for that visit. We'll give him a tour of our facilities and show him the Career Tech Center and show him the work that's been done at Dry Ridge, and really brag on our district and the work that we're doing. Give him an opportunity to see, the HQIR implementation work that's been going on. So just those are things that I have to report to you.
Awesome. Real quickly, just a reminder that next month's work session will be Wednesday, August the 6th at 7 o'clock.
And don't forget, Braves Bash will be Saturday, August 2nd, 10 to 12 at the high school.
Braves Bash, August 2nd.
At 7, yes, that's on a Wednesday.
Braves Bash is 10 to 12.
10 to 12. Cool, plans to have them walk through the link and go to stuff. Yeah. Okay. Let's see, we had the financial report on there, we had the, wasn't the DPP update, because obviously we have nothing to update on. Any other questions or discussion before we adjourn into executive session? No? Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn into executive session KRS 61.810(1)F? Discussions or hearings which might lead to the appointment, discipline, or dismissal of an individual employee, member, or student without restricting an employee, member, or student's right to a public hearing if requested. This exception shall not be interpreted to permit discussion of general personnel matters in secret. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? All in favor? Okay.